Okay, welcome back to 21 Jump Street from 2012 as we go back to the year 2005 with the Eminem song playing. And we see this guy here walking to school, and his name is Schmidt, portrayed by Jonah Hill.
You're not asking me to prom, are you?
Typical millennial atmosphere. Yeah, fun time. Now we meet Jenko, portrayed by Channing Tatum, now asked to be at the principal's office. And Jenko is failing everything and can't go to prom and can't even graduate either. And 7 years go by in the year 2012 at the Metropolitan Police Academy. So both want to join the force, and now it's combat class time, and both each have their own skills to offer each other, repeating the same line and become friends. And they just live day to day in the academy like it's college. And Jenko finally passes the first test and have finally graduated. And now in the first job, as they fish this frisbee out from the pond here and just waste time, thinking police work is going to be like a movie, and even annoying the two and spot the 1%ers drug dealers and spot them smoking cannabis and go there to interrupt the smoking. And Jenko slaps the cigarette like cannabis out the guy's hand, and these guys making jokes, and he searches the bike.
You want me to beat your dick off?
You want to beat my dick off?
I'll beat your dick off with both hands. What's up? Let's go. That's weird, man.
And Jenko finds some drugs and they chase after 1%ers, and the big biker pushes Schmidt out of the way, and Jenko has got the cannabis smoker on the ground, and do whip their dick to the guy with the park goers watching the awkward moment. And come parading back in the police station, the two sit down with Ron Swanson, who's now a deputy chief of police, or Nick Offerman from Parks and Recreations. And he tells the two that the 1%ers they've caught dropped the charges since they forgot to read his Miranda rights. You have a right to an attorney kind of rights, right? And Ron Swanson wants the two to say those very words to make sure they know what they exactly have to say the next time. And asks where Schmidt was at and wants to see his elbow.
Can you see that?
It actually hurts because the dirt gets mushed into it.
Ow! Ow!
Wow.
So they're assigned to a 1980s themed undercover assignment. Since these two are young and immature looking, they've got the assignment. And to report down at 37 Jump Street. And the two have made it to this Korean church and opened the gate with this mailbox saying 21 Jump Street. Pretty standard there. And see that there are already people there also waiting for this assignment. And comes out their captain, Captain Dixon, portrayed by Ice Cube. And all these guys are here simply because they look young. And spews out that he's worked hard to become a captain and tells them to embrace their stereotypes. And now each are assigned their roles and specifically looks at Jenko. And Schmidt interferes and Dixon yells. And he wants the two in his office. As the next scene, we see a video of a guy named Billiam Willingham who's bought digesting new synthetic drugs, the HFS. And the guy in the video is showing off the crazy side effects of the drug and shows all the phases of him being high. And the guy overdosed and died.
Schmidt, since you were a virgin through high school.
It says it?
No, I just assumed it. Due to your many years.
Now shows Schmidt's schedule as he enrolled him in a bunch of bull courses and tells him to hang out with the cool kids. And Dixon suspects that the drug is being cooked in the chemistry lab at the high school that they're going to and assigns the two their new identities. Doug and Brad McQuaid, brothers. Infiltrate the dealers, find the suppliers, and now Schmidt is talking to Korean Jesus and Jenko laughing in the background. And the two will be staying in Schmidt's house for the assignment, and that's embarrassing. And show off the embarrassing childhood pics already. And Schmidt wants Jenko to study these profiles before the major assignment, and Schmidt is especially worried. And get up now to remember the Miranda rights, and they're off to school. And Jenko giving his advice to Schmidt to be cool in high school, typical millennial stuff. And they need a cool car as they go to the police station in Pound and get one from Officer Hups here, portrayed by Holly Robinson Pete. And they play with the car. And they get to high school and park in the handicap spot and see that high school has changed a lot since 2005. And we see the student here just start speaking to the McQuaid brothers, and Jenko, who should be a nerd, here spots the nerd trying to study.
Trying with the nerd. Look at the nerd. Look at him. Look at the nerd.
Who you call a nerd, man?
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, high school has changed a lot, even though still surrounded by millennials. And now they are sent to the principal's office and will expel them if this happens again. And these two get their identities mixed up as the principal gives out their schedules with only 30 days left before the school year ends. Wow, 1 month before school year ends. And now Schmidt has made it to drama class, as a drama teacher here just talks about his life story, and Schmidt whispering to Captain Marvel here about Billiam's overdose, and asks her in code where Billiam got the drugs which caused him to die, and she points at the number behind the chair. And Janko enjoying his chemistry poem, and now that's done, and now it's time for a pop Quiznos. And the teacher sees that he's new here, Miss Griggs. And Miss Griggs winking good luck, hoping he'll win the $10 Quiznos sub gift card. And Quiznos doesn't really exist these days, if you ever heard of Quiznos, and neither does Mr. Sub, if you heard of any of them. Just Subways left. And the next scene we see Schmidt trying to sing in drama class, and the teacher is not liking it since it's too quiet. And he gets the text from the dealer. Meanwhile, Janko circles in the quiz without knowing the answers and gives it to Miss Griggs. And he gets a text from Schmidt and he needs to go, and the two make it to the yearbook room. And it's the same student from earlier who was texting on the computer to Schmidt, and it's Dave Franco, or Eric Molson.
I was gonna go home, maybe turn down the lights, get snuggy, get a little weird.
I was gonna take it and then masturbate later.
I'm not asking.
And all he does is just sell the synthetic drug, and he wants the two to take the drug here. And they take it, and they both run to the bathroom, and they think they have to throw up right away. Run into the hallways, and the gym coach spots the two and see they're late for his gym class. And Schmidt says that he's Doug McQuarrie, the track star athlete that should be in gym class, and the drug is already kicking into the systems. And they both go back to class acting all goofy and way higher, and that's that. And now phase 4 of the drug as Janko runs into band class, and Schmidt not running as fast as he should be. And the popular kids are happy that the drug worked and the effects are gone. And back at the Korean church, the two tell Captain Dixon that the awkward, pathetic, popular kids of that school are the ones selling the drugs that killed Billiam.
Infiltrate the dealers, find the supply. Simple.
Sounds like you guys really cracked the whole case.
And the captain is impressed because he didn't find the supplier, and even these fake cheerleaders are making fun of the two, who are other, undercover people. And Janko is back to check out the chemistry lab for the drug cooking area. But he's really there to supposedly study, and sees these nerds playing Bakugan. If you played Bakugan, it was a popular thing in the 2000s. And he asks the nerd behind him about covalent bonds and spots all those button cell phones that he's doing something to them. And he asks about spyware that can be installed that can be used to listen to other people's phone conversations, which gives him an idea, which gives Janko an idea. And Schmidt, being with the popular kids, will get them to the supplier, and what he does first is call up Captain Marvel. And comes in Janko and tries to sit on Schmidt and brings out the giraffe to signal that he should invite her to the party that they're throwing. And causing this now, and Schmidt hangs up, and Captain Marvel will post about the party on Facebook.
I should call you back. Well, all right, I'll see you at school. You're a great person. Oh, bye-bye. Bye. What the fuck?
And back at the church is Captain Dixon asks the two if they're throwing a party and to not give those students alcohol. And now they get ready for the party by buying booze and scouting the evidence locker for weed and a bunch of snacks. And now it's party time, and the nerds are the first ones to be here, and everyone has also made it, and Eric Molson and his drug crew have also made it, and Captain Marvel has also arrived, and Janko hugging Eric aggressively so that he can grab his phone from his back pocket and signals to the nerds, and Schmidt showing his parents' room off and see a three-way. And Eric is about to leave, and the nerds have to hurry up to put the spyware chip in his phone, and Scott comes in, and this guy named Scott comes in, and his friends from a different high school. And Schmidt comes in to try to stop it, and Scott punches Schmidt. And the two fight off Scott and his friends, and Schmidt smashes Scott's head with his mom's vase.
Your mom's face! Fucking mom's face! Fuck this!
So meanwhile, Schmidt's mom and dad are coming back home since she forgot her phone, and Janko pulls the shiv out of Schmidt's back. And they're all having a good time. 2010's kind of fun. And they're home, and everyone runs out as Schmidt runs out with Eric, and he would like to join him on selling these synthetic drugs, which would lead him to meet the supplier. And here comes Janko, runs off Eric, and the next morning we see Schmidt's mom yelling about the damage he's done to his baby picture. And at the firing range shooting, and Janko says he put a bug in Eric's phone, and Schmidt doesn't think it's a good idea since he's already meeting the supplier sooner or later. With all those drugs being handed to him for selling, he brings them all to Dixon, 21 Jump Street Korean Church. And back at school, as Janko sees that Schmidt is close to Eric and his friends, and goes back to the science lab to see some updates on Eric's phone. But but instead does a science experiment outside while Eric and Schmidt are vandalizing and are also high from the synthetic drug. And out at the mall shoe shopping, and Eric notices Schmidt has been texting Captain Marvel, and now Phyllis, Schmidt's neighbor from earlier, calls him over here, and she doesn't know he's undercover, and tells her to keep quiet and pushes her into the shoe display as Eric and his friends are coming closer, and makes up that she was trying to touch his and Janko waiting on Schmidt, but he texts back that he's hanging out with Eric today. And they go to Eric's mansion and he sees Captain Marvel's there, and he's brought tacos. And at one of the nerds' house practicing for their band at the same time, Eric is singing too with his guitar. And the nerds have got Eric's phone to try to listen to conversations, and here comes Schmidt looking in the laptop, and Captain Marvel interrupts him. And the nerds where Janko can hear everything as Captain Marvel speaks to Schmidt about being careful with the drugs. And they all listen about prom.
Put her there, man. Just put it right there.
I'm putting it.
And everyone comes now, and here she comes, asks about if Brad is his real brother to Doug here, and he just speaks badly about him. And back at 21 Jump Street Korean Church, as Fugazi here comes in to tell him that the synthetic drug sales are now showing up at Kennedy High, which is where Scott was from, and Dixon is pissed off that the supplier hasn't been found yet, and mentions Eric is meeting with someone about a stuffed piñata. And now it's time for the play, which Schmidt is a part of since he's the lead, and it's Brad's turn to read out his chemistry poem and sees Eric and his friend with a piñata outside the school. And he rushes to Schmidt and to tell him that the piñata is here, and they rush into their car to follow Eric and his drug buddy and they see that their car has a lock on the tire for not paying back any of the tickets, and they take the driver's ed car and it has 2 steering wheels. And they make it under the bridge here to sell the piñata to the one percenters, the guys from the park from way beginning of the movie, and put their heads down and follow the one percenters and fighting over the break. And causing the big guy to tear the car apart and escape with the one percenters after them, and they run to grab his Porsche and drive off, and Janko grabs some golf balls and a tennis racket and uses them on this one percenter. And Captain Marvel sees that Doug McQuarrie is missing since the place is full of people now, and the understudy is ready to go on air and see a traffic jam. They run as Schmidt texts back Captain Marvel, and Janko steals this woman's car. And his gas truck is now full of holes with all the liquid dripping out, with all the gas dripping out, and doesn't blow up. And they need a gun, so he looks inside the glove compartment and finds one, and shoots the one percenter and hits the piñata and blows up with these chickens inside the truck. And Janko drops off Schmidt back at school since the play has already started, and Schmidt is taking this high school thing a little too seriously and runs into the play and pushes away the understudy as the audience laughs, and Peter Pan is ready to fly, and here comes Janko as he flies up with him and fight. And the two fight since Janko remembers what Schmidt said about him, calling him Rain Man, like the Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman movie reference. And here comes Principal Daddier expelling the fake McQuarrie brothers.
I heard you call me Rain Man, you asshole! Principal Daddier sucks dick!
And back at 21 Jump Street Church, Captain Dixon has fired the two and they both leave, and even Schmidt calling back Captain Marvel, but that fails. And Janko is all ready to leave, and he really thought Schmidt could be his brother. And here comes Eric again and wants the two to come back with him and start telling them that these two were followed by the police, and Eric is freaking out. And he's suspicious of Janko being a cop and takes out these 2 guns, but the guns are meant for both of them. What a close call. And Eric has a deal going down soon to shoot the bottles, and they both shoot the bottles at target practice, and the deal will happen at prom. And now get ready, all geared up for the prom while doing some chores in between, and they're ready to go with some finishing touches. And I made it to prom with the nerds there too, and walking and see Miss Griggs being weird as usual around Janko. Here comes Captain Marvel, and she's already ingested the synthetic drug, and she needs to get out of here. And she's too high as Schmidt tells his real identity, and he's got to run with Eric to finally meet the supplier.
Mr. Walters? Hey! Beautiful Brad! And his brother. Wow, you look great!
And the supplier is Mr. Walters the whole time, the gym teacher portrayed by Rob Riggle. And the nerds are listening to everything in the bathroom stall with the girls. And he finally mentions how he thought of the drug side business and brought in Eric here. And what's even funnier is that the one percenters are back to buy the synthetic drug. And the one percenter here is questioning where has he seen these two before. and starts singing some made-up French fry commercial jingle, and here comes Captain Marvel.
That's my quesadilla. Who wants a piece, huh?
Jack, or whatever your name is. You lied to me.
So Brie Larson ruined everything, and everyone takes out their guns. And here she comes in, passes out from the drug, and the two cops will drop their guns now. And these two 1%ers turn out to be undercover DEA agents. So Johnny Depp and Peter DeLuise from the 21 Jump Street TV show from the 1980s and 1990s, with their stage names from that show, were undercover 1%ers the whole time in this movie. And these two have been added against these 1%ers for 5 whole years. And Tom Hansen, played by Johnny Depp, is happy to hear that these two are 21 Jump Street members, just like him and Doug were here, played by Peter DeLuise. And Tom Hansen has been killed, and Doug has been killed as well. Just loud shooting, and Schmidt was shooting at the ceiling the whole time as he watches Tom Hansen's confession to Doug.
You telling me it's on? Let's do this. Let's make a baby.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know. Who's trying to sound cool? Sorry. Go.
And Mr. Walters escapes with Captain Marvel and Eric, and the two shoot the guy who has been in many Steven Seagal movies from the 2000s. And Janko throws up. And the 1%ers see that the prom slideshow is happening, and even see Janko and Schmidt on the screen as they escape. And they all chase after each other in the limos, and this girl wakes up from being drunk inside the limo with Janko and Schmidt. And Janko pushes her out, and now a quick chemistry lesson as he makes a bomb with this tequila bottle or a Molotov cocktail, and it was supposed to blow up now. And Walters has got Captain Marvel, and he shoots Janko as he dives in front of Schmidt, and Molly is also part. Schmidt should keep in mind that Molly is also part of the distribution of those synthetic drugs. Schmidt should be arresting her too. So Molly escapes, and this happens.
Shit. I shot him in the dick. You shot me in the dick.
And shoots Walters in the dick. Reads out his Miranda rights correctly, and Schmidt apologizing to Janko embarrassingly. And Walters is dick the road and tries to pick it up with his mouth. And also says sorry to Captain Marvel, and the two walk off, making it look like a Die Hard 3 ending, like Schmidt says. And we have made it back to 21 Jump Street as Dixon congratulates the two, and directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and that is 21 Jump Street from 2012. Great movie, fantastic, and it's based off the TV show from the 1980s, 1990s, like I said, Johnny Depp and Peter DeLuise. And I'll see you next time in 22 Jump Street from 2014. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks for always watching. Bye-bye.